Okay.
3-2.
And there's a high fly ball. Right back. Castellanos deep into left field. It is a fair ball. Turner hits a drive deep left center field, and the Phillies strike first.
Breaking ball popped up, shallow right. Segura going out. Castellanos coming on. Castellanos has it, and the Phillies have the National League championship.
This is Luke and I on the Phillies, brought to you by Fox Sports The Gambler.
Chef, what's going on? I will say I did sit there the other day and think about possibly changing that intro just for the new season. But ever since I made that intro, I just don't think I can change it. It's too good. It gets me fired up every time. What's going on? The Phillies are 1-0. This is the newest episode of Luke and I on the Phillies. I am Luke Arcani. As always, to my left, I guess. Yes, your guys left as well. The one and only Sheffield Shuffler. Both of us, I can say that little logo down in Chef's corner, FOCO. If you guys haven't seen FOCO, that sign right there behind Chef, a bunch of stuff. I got the overalls down there. They got the best stuff in the game. The link down below if you haven't already. Chef, the Phils are 1-0. A funny game, I would say. Just a weird, it felt to me like your typical opening day game. The second that Romano sort of blew that inning, I was like, there is no shot they win this game. And they did. A huge hit from Bohm. Obviously, then another huge one from JT. Matt Strom looked good. Just a funny March opening day game, I would say.
Yeah. Besides there being no rain, I thought very opening day-esque. Lot of strikeouts, man. If you took Mackenzie Gore to have 13 strikeouts, I mean, nobody did that, dude.
Show me the slip. I want to see it.
Show me the slip. That's not going to happen. I looked at matchups, Mackenzie Gore, because they play the Nationals a lot. They see Mackenzie Gore a lot, averaging probably like 20 at bats over the last couple of years. Castellanos, Bohm, Turner, they all have great numbers against him. So that's why I took a couple props on those hitters, base hits, RBIs. And he just shoved today, dude. I looked at his last two starts in spring training, trash. He had 8 innings pitched in his last two starts, 5 earned runs. So I was like, all right, this guy's, not where he's, should be. Yeah. So I thought there'd be a lot more offense than that. It came later in the game, obviously, but it was, it got to the point where once they were down, I was like, shit, I'm going to have to hear about this because they're off tomorrow and it's going to be all this talk about the Phillies can't do this. They can't hit. A lot of strikeouts today. That's got to get cleaned up, but all that matters is a W in the win column. And then they tacked on a lot of runs in the 10th inning. So happy about that.
Yeah, that was nice to see. I mean, that was nasty stuff. I mean, from both sides. And I think I tweeted this earlier. An insane start for Mackenzie Gore really put Zach Wheeler in the shadows because I thought he was also awesome today. I think
was 8 Ks.
6 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 run. I mean, he looked really good. Those shadows were definitely on the pitcher's side today. That is a thing where if you bring up shadows, you'll get a lot of 45-year-old men down in their replies that say it doesn't matter, hit the ball. But those shadows are real, man. That's hard. I mean, Alec Bohm talked about it after the game and said, yeah, it's not fun. They can barely see the ball. They can't see any spin on the ball. It looks like a little black dot just riding right at you. So it's tough. But I did think the Phillies put together a lot of good at bats sort of once they went away. I thought the offense, I mean, obviously looked insanely better in the last 5 innings of the game than it did the first 5 because it was bad. I mean, and I don't want to take anything away from Mackenzie Gore because he was shoving today. He had an 80% whiff rate on his slider today, and he threw it 24% of the time. To put that into perspective, he threw around 95 pitches, I believe. So he threw about 22-ish sliders today. About 18 or 19 of them, the Phillies swung and missed at. Like
Mhm.
just gross stuff. But ultimately it didn't matter. And I do want to get into a few things here, but the first guy I did kind of want to talk about was Alec Boehm, because I thought Alec Boehm had a really good day. Obviously after an off season of just like trade rumors and this guy sucks and just
New
cut him.
girlfriends.
New girlfriend. A lot of distractions. There was a big article the other day that said he basically deleted every single social media app on his phone for about 6 months, which I think was probably the best case scenario for Boehm, because if he looked at any sort of Twitter or Instagram or anything from November to February, everything he would have saw would have been some new Alec Boehm trade rumor. But I thought he had a great day today as well. Obviously, Bryce. Before today, Bryce Harper was 2 for 17 on opening day in his Phillies career. Obviously, that big bomb, him, Schwarber. I liked what I saw from sort of the new lineup. Obviously, I think that was the biggest sort of talk this season of how they're going to format the lineup. Did you like Trey in the leadoff?
I do. I mean, all you got to do, I mean, we've said it before. Do you look at the back of the baseball card, right? The guy's been in the position before. He's been successful in the position. And my thought process too, Luke, is you only lead off once, right?
Correct.
Like you lead off to start the game and that's it, dude. You're not leading off again. So obviously you want to get your best hitters the most amount of at-bats as possible. And yeah, I think it's a benefit to have Schwarber in that 4 spot where he's going to be able to drive in runs. He's got great on-base percentage, so that's why he succeeded in the leadoff spot. But Trey is the more traditional guy that should be up there. He could steal bags. So I thought it's fine. And you know what, Luke? If it doesn't work, go back to Schwarber. It's not a big deal.
Jeff, I don't know if you know, but by the way Twitter has looked the last few days, apparently it's November of 2025 and the Phillies have already been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, it's actually only March 27th. I didn't know if you knew that.
No, I would never have guessed by the radio stations, by the callers, by toxic Twitter. Bro, I don't subscribe to any of that. I was telling you before we got on here, it's March 27th. Unless you're a White Sox fan, you should have all the optimism in the world.
White Sox are 1-0. 1-0 White Sox. Look pretty good today.
That
400 to 1 to
win
win the World
total's looking
Series.
pretty good. Yeah.
I will say they are on track to go 162-0, just like the Phillies. So,
but Luke, they're taking away, like you said, from the fun of it, dude. It's opening day. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be, the possibilities of a new season. And let's talk about this. These people are just like, nah, it doesn't matter because we can't do it in October. Shut up then, dude. It's a journey. We have 162 games. We got to go through the process. This is the road to the postseason. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy the ups, the downs. That is baseball. There's so much variance in this game, which makes it so hard for people to watch 162 games. I'm optimistic, dude. I'm positive. I don't like all that toxic stuff. So yeah, it's March, dude. Everybody can be a happy, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I think that is my favorite part about baseball is that it's not like football. You don't play one game a week for 6 months straight. It's 5 games a week for 6 straight months. And it is a journey. Like you said, like it's not 16 games in a season. And the second that one loss happens in the playoffs, you're done. Like it's a 7-month journey. Like it's different guys coming up and it's guys you've never heard of making plays on a random Tuesday night in June. Like you don't get that in any other sport.
No.
And
you don't get a Cal Stevenson game in the NFL.
No, you don't. Like, and that's what I think that's where people need to separate sports, because a lot of people like to watch baseball like it's a football season. And you need to remember that if the Phillies lost that game today, like the season's not over. Like if the Eagles lost, in week 1 to a very bad team, I think we'd be concerned. But like
the Falcons?
Yeah. But then they ended up, because maybe some things in the beginning of the season that happen don't matter. I don't know. But yeah, no. Thought today was great. It was just a typical, opening day game.
And if
I
anything,
feel
Luke, I think it showed resilience, right?
it
They were
did. It
down,
absolutely
they
did.
came back. Romano comes in, blows it. They come back and score in the 10th inning. Like that shows you, like the fightins, dude. It is fighting season. Like they came back, overcame obstacles to win the game. So you should be optimistic about things.
And I don't really want to do the whole overreaction thing because I saw some people on the timeline just like Jordan Romano's cooked. And like, listen, I get it. Like, I get it. This guy was injured last year and stuff like that. But like, I'm sort of in the belief that I don't think you can have a true take in baseball until May. Like, I don't think much of April matters. Like, if Romano came out today and struck out the side, I'm not going to sit there and say he's the best reliever on the team. And if he comes out there today like he did and blows it, I'm not going to say this guy's cooked. Like it's once again people kind of starting to treat baseball like football, and like it is the complete opposite. One guy that I do want to talk about, and yes, I'm going to overreact to him a little bit.
Do it.
Jose Alvarado is nasty.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
But he's had a track record, the track record from spring up until today.
101.3 on March 27th. He almost topped out at 102 at the end of that inning. Like, dude, it's nasty stuff. He looks really good, and that is so big for them because obviously you lose Hoffman, you lose Estevez, and other than Strom, like you don't really have a good lefty in your bullpen. Like it's Romano, a righty, another righty for Kerkering. Like other than Strom, it's two like Banks and is that
Alvarado.
it? Yeah, that's it. It's Alvarado and Banks. So you need that dominant lefty, man. If you go, through April and through May, and you have 4 really good pitchers in Alvarado, Romano, Strom, Kerkering, like you're set up for really nice success. And I think that was sort of where the Phillies struggled last year is one of the issues of their bullpen was they didn't have really another good lefty other than Strom. And I don't want to, overreact because the old saying is if it's good in spring training, then you overreact. If it's bad, they're working on things. But I mean, this guy looks nasty right now.
Luke, I know you saw the video with his arm side movement
Talk to me.
against Tommy Pham, right?
Talk to me.
6 inches of horizontal movement arm side, which is unheard of. You don't see that. So I saw that and I was like, wow, like that's something you don't see from a lefty moving horizontally arm side. And it really caught Tommy Pham off guard. And that's why they had that whole video and stuff. And the thing I love Alvarado. I think he's great 13 out of 14 appearances. And then his 14th is you can smell it as soon as he gets in when he throws 4 straight balls and you're like, oh shit,
it's done. If Jose Alvarado comes out and walks the first guy on 4 pitches, he's not getting out of that inning.
Cooked.
There is I'd bet my life that if he walks the first batter on 4 pitches, he's not getting out of that inning. No shot.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he looks great, man. He looks great. And I will say who did look great today. And I want to get into this because I have always been anti this. And I started to really turn last year. And I officially hit this point at the end of last season. And it helped my take today. I am so ready for robot umpires. Like, I'm ready for that. I am. And I was always like, I played baseball for 15 years. Like, I was always extremely anti, like, did not want it, but like these guys got to get it together. And listen, I get it. It's opening day for them. It's opening day for the players. It's obviously opening day for John Kruk. I think Kruk had a bit of a rough day today in the booth.
Yeah.
But man, I'm like, there were some bad calls today, man. Really, really bad.
Luke, I am I'll go say much older than you. So I'm going to be the old guy yelling at clouds right now. I love baseball because of the human element.
Okay,
I
and that's my only other side to that take that I do agree with. Sorry.
I love the human element to baseball, that there is another human deciding the fate, the calls, like that. It's not, and that's why I think there's so many parallels to baseball and life, and that's why I think it's the greatest game. Is it's not always fair, it's not always a great call. But Luke, do we ever complain about umpires in the postseason?
Not a ton. Now that I think
Rarely, very rarely.
because
So
usually it's the better ones, but
it's usually the better ones. So why don't we double down on that? You need to be graded. The umpire, the union, very strong, right? There needs to be, and I've had a bunch of ideas. I think there needs to be term limits, just like there needs to be term limits on our elected officials, on our representatives. You can't sit in government for 5 decades and embezzle money and collect all this kind of stuff. There needs some, whether it's 15, 20 years, whatever, we shouldn't have 75-year-old men calling pitches at 103 miles an hour with movement. Your eyes get worse as you get older. It's just science. So let's get graded by month, and then the good ones stay and the bad ones get demoted. And that's just how it is. We rarely have issues in the postseason with umpires, with calls, because those are the best of the best. So why don't we just have the best of the best umpires calling the games at all times? There would be, I think, such less of disagreement among calls. That is just how I feel. Just get better umpires. I love the human element. I want to keep it in there. So I am against the robot stuff, but I understand what you mean. You want to have right calls. That's the whole point. You want to have the right calls. I get it. But I do appreciate the human element.
I absolutely agree on the human element side. That's like the only side of it where I do want to sort of like have a pushback on my side, because I do enjoy that human element. I mean, we saw it today with Bryson Stott. I mean, that ball probably hit him. Like, and I get it. That's a call you can't really overturn because it was so close and they already called it no. But like, I'm pretty sure I could hear it hit him on the broadcast. Like, I am about 99% sure that ball hit him today. Granted, it didn't matter in the end, but I swore that ball got him today.
Mm-hmm. And
But
I think there are certain plays that you do review. And I don't know. I don't like kind of where it's going with the whole robot. The ABS stuff, I guess, is kind of cool. It's like challenges and stuff. And I don't know, dude. Like I said, I am the old guy that likes to leave baseball the way it is. And like the pitch clock, I was very against that. I was like, there's never should be a clock in baseball. But you know what? It turned out to be a good thing. It got people moving, and then the game adjusted to it. And then there's really not that many calls and balls because everyone took too long. So everyone kind of gets adjusted, and it's just speeding up the game. So I took that back. I was like, it ended up being okay. So that's me.
I will say too, on the ABS, I actually didn't mind it. I was kind of, I feel a little against it. Like, I just didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I did like how quick it was. I mean, it's literally just a boom, call, done, review. That was quick. So, I mean, listen, I don't want to sit here and talk about umpires, but I think we need to tune up some of the calls today. Granted, once again, it is also opening day for them. But yeah, so I don't have much else. You got anything else from the day? I didn't really
I mean, one thing I noticed, you mentioned the swing and miss on the sliders. Was it the sliders from Mackenzie Gore today?
Yeah.
If you noticed, Harper, Schwarber, and Bohms, all their hits, the 2 home runs from Harper and Schwarber, and then Bohms rip down the gap, were all on 4-seam fastballs, 96 miles an hour 4-seam fastballs. So they were looking fastball. They ate it. They ate those fastballs. And I think that is going to be kind of something pitchers are looking at moving forward. We know how bad they are with Chase. So I don't think they're going to see a lot of fastballs in key situations, pressure situations, like, during matchups and stuff, because they are very good at hitting fastballs, proven year after year. Today was a great example, but those 3 specific hits, those big hits, were all off of 4-seam fastballs.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, something Kevin Long should take a look at. The player should take a look at, and adjust it. Like those sliders, dude, nasty, right? We have to have a better approach when we're seeing that. So
Absolutely.
that was just my kind of thing, is just moving forward. That's great that they capitalize on those. Just don't know specifically those hitters. You're not throwing 4 seams to Harper, 4 seams to Schwarber. So I think we'll be seeing a lot less of those during moving forward.
I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, you saw it, last playoffs, is when Harper gets up in the playoffs, no pitcher's throwing him a fastball. Like it's just not happening. No one's throwing Schwarber a fastball. And if they do throw Schwarber a fastball, it's probably gone. Like it's more of the off speed stuff. And I mean, that was probably the biggest off-season topic was how are the approaches changing? Because it was funny because, like, one thing that bothers me is the whole this team doesn't listen to Kevin Long thing, and it's what could Kevin Long have done different today for that first 5 innings to have gone different? There's not an answer. There's not an answer. Like, and I saw a few people today like, oh, nice off season for Kevin Long. I'm like, dude, what does a hitting coach do? And like, I want to be honest. What does a hitting coach do? A hitting coach walks up to Nick Castellanos and says, stop swinging at low and away sliders. And then he doesn't do it. Granted, I will say his single today was on a low and off speed that he somehow got into left field. Dude, that was a hell of a hit. I did not think he was going to get that.
Reminded me of Vlad Guerrero, dude.
Yeah, big time. I thought Trey as well. And I did realize the first 3 at-bats today from Trey, he saw 21 pitches combined in his first at-bats, which I think is going to be big from him out of that leadoff spot. Like, if he's going to stay there, the whole point of that leadoff spot, if it's not Schwarber, because obviously we know the reason that Schwarber was in the leadoff spot is because he's an immediate threat to go up 1-0. But if you put Trey there,
and he walks,
it can't be swinging first pitch. And listen, if it's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, first pitch of the game, yes, I want Trey to be swinging at that. But it can't be 3 pitch at bats for Trey. And I thought today was a very good start. I mean, 21 pitches in the first 3 at bats. It was a nice sort of start for his approach, because that's obviously the biggest thing with Trey is, like, no matter what Trey has done over the last 2 years, everybody knows that Trey Turner can hit. It's just a matter of the pitches he's swinging at, when he's swinging at them, right? Like, everybody knows Trey can hit. It just has to be more selective. It has to be better at the plate. And I thought today was a good start for that.
Yeah, and grinding down starting pitchers, right? The goal was to get into that
working
bullpen.
pitch counts.
And getting
Look
into
what
that
Ruiz did
bullpen.
today with Zach Wheeler. It was a 14 pitch at bat that he ended up on a home run. And obviously, yeah, the home run was great, but that was an unbelievable at bat off of Zach Wheeler. I think it was like 13 pitches against him. Like, your goal as a hitter, and maybe not for Harper and maybe not for Schwarber, but like, your goal as a hitter needs to be working through these counts and working to 8, 9, 10 pitch counts. That is the goal. That should be the goal every at bat for a guy like Stott, for a guy like Marsh, for a guy like these guys later in the lineup, like when Rojas is in the game. They shouldn't have an at bat under 6 pitches. And if they get a hit on the 5th pitch, then yeah. But like, you can't go up there in a game like today, and the Phillies were swinging and missing and whiffing, and like, this was a perfect example today of how the selection has to come into place more, because you have to work Mackenzie Gore. Listen, if you can't hit him, if he's just on you all day and you can't hit him, that's fine. But foul 4 or 5 pitches off, right? Don't swing at the balls in the dirt. Like, continue to work counts.
And Luke, those are the small wins that people who don't follow baseball or know baseball think that's a bad at bat. If you can work a 14 pitch at bat and you're making this starting pitcher throw 14 pitches and you're fouling him off and you're fouling him off, and then you do end up King, yeah, that stinks, but you made him work. You ate up 14 of his pitches, went into his pitch count, and we're even closer to going to the bullpen. That's a good at bat. The result wasn't great, but that is a good at bat. And those are the small wins. Like you said, Stott, Marsh, Rojas, those guys, if they can do that long term, that's a win for the entire team.
Absolutely. Well, Chef, we have a long ways to go. We have 161 baseball games left.
They're on pace for 162, dude. It's crazy.
You can't go 162-0 if you don't win the first game.
Stats are stats.
Stats are stats. Listen, I don't. Not all of them are always true, but that one is. My name is Luke Arcani. That is Pete Sheffield Shuffler, sponsored by FOCO, your one-stop shop for all things, every single thing, signs behind Chef, overalls, shirts, hats, everything you got. FOCO.com. Use the link down below. Once again, this has been the newest episode of Luke and I on the Phillies, and we will see you next time.